At the edge of Gadaipur village sits Shyama Kaku's tea shop. In the soft morning light, a few idle villagers gather for a chat while sipping on steaming cups of tea. On this particular day, the center of their discussion was the village's new postmaster, Nitai Babu. Nitai Babu was a city man who had just joined the village post office. His strict adherence to rules and his strong sense of right and wrong were already the talk of the town. The story really got going when Habul, the village's mischievous boy, was found picking and eating guavas from a guava tree. Seeing this, Nitai Babu flared up.
Hey boy, whose permission did you take to pick those guavas? This is someone else's tree. Stealing is a great sin.
Nitai Babu said in a serious voice. Habul, a boy of about 10, was taken aback and stammered.
But sir, this tree is on the edge of the forest. Lots of people pick fruit from it.
Just because it's near the forest, does that mean it has no owner? Everything has a rule. Learn to do the right thing.
Nitai Babu continued his lecture. Shyama Kaku, who had been quietly making tea until then, said with a gentle smile,
Postmaster Babu. Habul probably didn't understand all that. Around here in the village, if there's fruit on a tree like that, everyone just picks it and eats. Nobody minds.
Nitai Babu nearly jumped up.
Nobody minds? Does that mean there are no rules and regulations? Is there no such thing as right and wrong?
Shyama Kaku calmly replied,
Of course there is. But what is right in your city and what is right in our village might be a little different. Don't you think? For example, in the city, if you urinate on the street, people will be disgusted and the police might even catch you. But here in Gadaipur, where not every house has a toilet yet, if a farmer working in the fields answers nature's call, nobody calls it wrong.
Nitai Babu was a bit flustered.
Well, that's a different situation.
Exactly.
Said Shyama Kaku.
It's the situation and the society that often create the standards for right and wrong. What is a terrible injustice in one society might be perfectly normal in another. For instance, many years ago in our own country, the practice of sati, a widow immolating herself on her husband's pyre, was common. In the eyes of that society, it was right. It was a wife's duty to her husband. Today, we can't even imagine how horrifying that custom was. With time, our society's idea of right has changed.
Karim Kaka, a man in his 60s sitting at the gathering, added,
That's true. In my childhood, I saw people whisper and say so many things if girls went to school. Now look, the girls are in no way behind the boys.
Habul's father, Bola the barber, who had been listening quietly, then asked,
So, Postmaster Babu, was it right or wrong for Habul to pick that guava?
Nitai Babu was silent for a moment and then said,
Look, according to the concept of private property, it was wrong. But if it's acceptable according to your village's social customs, then...
He couldn't finish his sentence. Shyama Kaku laughed and said,
Then let Habul have one more guava. And you should try one too. The guavas from the trees near the forest have a special taste. He winked. You see, sir, this business of right and wrong is a lot like clothing. Different societies wear different kinds of clothes. That doesn't mean one outfit is the best for everyone. The main thing is that the clothes should be comfortable and help the society to function.
Nitai Babu let out a deep sigh and said,
There's logic in what you're saying, Shyama Kaku. Perhaps I rely too much on bookish knowledge.
Handing him a cup of tea, Shyama Kaku said,
Bookish knowledge is also necessary, sir. But life becomes easier if you mix it with a little common sense and an effort to understand the people around you. We humans are the ones who create right and wrong, so that we can live together in peace. Beyond us, for that vast sky, the stars at night, the deep jungle, our right and wrong have no value. They have their own rules. the rules of nature.
That night, Nitai Babu thought about Shyama Kaku's words for a long time. He felt the need to re-examine many things he had learned. Habul probably didn't understand all these deep conversations that day, but he was very happy to get a sweet guava. And perhaps that was the biggest right of that moment. Now, if the story about Habul's guava and the wise discussion at Shyama Kaku's tea stall has left you scratching your head a little about right and wrong, don't worry. The matter isn't as complicated as it first seemed to Nitai Babu. Think of right and wrong as being like traffic rules in different countries. In our country, we drive on the left side of the road. That is right. But if you suddenly go to America and do the same thing, you'll see everyone staring at you, because over there, driving on the right side is right. Now tell me, is driving on the left a universal truth or just a rule made for our country's convenience? Exactly. Societies also make some rules for their own convenience so that people can live in peace without clashing with one another. Following these rules is right, and not following them is wrong. Just as Shyama Kaku was saying, this outfit of right and wrong also changes with time. Many things our grandfathers knew to be right 100 years ago might seem ridiculous or wrong to us today. And who knows, the things we proudly call right today, maybe our grandchildren will just smile at them. So does that mean there's no such thing as right or wrong? Is it all a sham? Not at all. The fun part is that these rules were made by people, for the good of people. The animals in the forest or the stars in the sky don't care about our right and wrong. When a tiger hunts a deer, does it think it's being unjust? It's just satisfying its hunger, following the law of nature. So the main point is, before judging someone else's right or wrong, it's good to try to understand their situation and their society's rules. A bit like Nitai Babu, who at first thought Habul was a guava thief, but later understood that the village context was different. This makes life much simpler, and we can avoid raising our blood pressure for no reason and instead have an extra cup of tea, like Shyama Kaku. And at the end of the day, any act that brings a smile to everyone's face without causing any major harm to oneself or others is probably the biggest right of all. What's your opinion on this? Do let me know in the comments. As Sadhguru has said, right and wrong are social concepts. They have no existential relevance. Thank you